Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 11th of April, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed the day up 1.3% to 7,310 points. Now, that's the highest close in about a month, and the index is only a little over 4% off its all-time high. Today, the materials stocks, the consumer companies and the financials and real estate investment trusts all did well. Among the large caps, Fortescue Metals Group was up 2.7%, while Westpac and ANZ both jumped around 2%. BHP, National Australia Bank and Rio Tinto also outperformed. The underperformers included WiseTech Global, toll road operator Transurban, and to a lesser extent, CSL and Telstra. Story number 2, Bitcoin pushed above $30,000 a unit today for the first time since June last year. It's now up more than 80% since the beginning of this year. Still, it is half the level of its peak back in November 2021. It means the value of Bitcoin has recovered since the failure of Celsius and FTX late last year. Helping Bitcoin along, and other cryptocurrencies of course, has been the collapse of 2 regional banks in the US. It's allowed crypto supporters to push the line that alternative currencies are an attractive alternative to traditional finance. Story number 3, plenty of corporate news around today. US-based gold miner Newmont upped its bid for Newcrest Mining to just under $30 billion, and the local-based digger said it will open its books to Newmont. Its share price rose 5% today to $29.68, which is still a bit below the offer price of $32.87. Latitude Financial has received a ransom demand from the criminals behind the recent cyber attack on the company. The finance provider said it won't pay a ransom, in line with the position of the Australian government. Cyber criminals stole data belonging to more than 14 million past and present customers. Bubs Australia today said it's replacing its chair, Dennis Lin, with Katrina Rathie. In a fairly terse notice to the ASX, Bubs pointed to the recent deterioration in the company's financial performance and the need to change the governance framework to ensure that it aligns with ASX corporate governance principles and best practices. Unusual wording, that. Wonder whether there's more to it. Bub's share price fell 2% today, and it's 85% below its pre-COVID peak. And finally, Mayne Pharma said it's completed the sale of its US retail generics portfolio to Dr. Reddy's Laboratories for $134 million. Story number 4, the National Australia Bank Business Conditions and Sentiment Survey for March, released today, shows conditions remained resilient last month, edging lower but remaining well above the long-run average. Trading conditions remain very elevated, indicating that businesses continue to experience strong demand and conditions are generally strong across states and sectors. Business confidence appears to have stabilised but remains below long-run averages. Separately, the Westpac Melbourne Institute survey of consumer confidence surged following the Reserve Bank's decision to pause interest rates last week, though in historical terms, sentiment still remains weak. And finally, story number 5, US President Joe Biden is due to arrive in Belfast overnight to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, as London urged the region's biggest unionist party to end its boycott of Northern Ireland's political institutions. Biden's visit, which will be followed by a longer trip to the Republic of Ireland, follows the signing of a new UK-EU deal covering post-Brexit trading rules. The president's trip, according to the Financial Times, comes after almost a year of political limbo in Northern Ireland caused by the post-Brexit trade regime. Biden often boasts of his Irish heritage and Catholic faith. The Good Friday Agreement, signed on April 10, 1998, ended 3 decades of conflict in Northern Ireland and established a power-sharing government involving the region's unionist and nationalist communities. The US administration at the time played a pretty major role in that one. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 11th of April, 2023. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.